Hey gang, welcome back to another Cogmind video. Today we're going to be continuing our introduction to the game as we explore what could very likely be one of the best floors to hit early on, the storage area. I'll walk you through why this can be such a useful room to hit if you can manage it, but it does come with its risks, but it's definitely worth the reward. So the storage room is very similar to the mines from previous floors, where this is not actually a level up. This is actually a level parallel with the previous one. So last video we were in materials and we moved up to the storage room, but we actually moved sideways into the storage room. Let me expand on that really quick. So on previous floors, so your first floor, level 0, it's just kind of a floor below all the others. And then when you advance to the next floor, you don't really level up because this is floor number 1. This is actually your first real floor of the game. You saw that there were exits to the mines, and the mines are kind of like these little side levels. They're not actually a level up, and the only way to increase your stats is by going up a floor to the next level above. And it's not really feasible. If you only go sideways, then you're not really going up a level. But you can't really know that the mines are sideways until you've tried to explore them a couple times and found that there can be only one mine level, there can be multiple mines levels. You just kind of have to explore and figure that out. Storage is a very similar thing. So in this case, we were on level 2 and we moved into storage, which is this little side area here. And you have to clear storage before you can go to the next level up from there. And that's actually not quite right. Storage is here, and then the next level is always in this chain, and it kind of connects back over like this. So because we moved sideways into storage, we didn't actually get the chance to level up or evolve, which means we don't get to heal or to apply any new stat points. So that's something to consider. If you're low health, you might want to rethink going to this floor. What this floor in particular is really, really great for is finding lots of rooms that have lots of parts. Just in my time exploring this floor, I found 5 or 6 different places that just were loaded with bunches of extra parts. And that's usually what you'll find, a room with 2 types of parts, and there will be 5 or 6 copies of that same exact part type. Let's say you're going for a combat bot, you're going to want a lot of targeting computers. This is the place to be where you can find maybe 10 targeting computers all on one floor. So it's a good place to find backups, and if you want those spots for your utilities, that's where you find them. One of the challenges of this floor, as I kind of hinted at already, is that because there's such good loot, there's also lots of enemies. Pretty much every door you open is going to have a defender behind it. They can be a really tricky enemy type to deal with. They usually run treads, and that means they have pretty good stability. So they're pretty accurate with the weapons that they run, and unfortunately the weapons that they run tend to be pretty good. If you are able to dispatch them quickly, you can take that from them and stock up on some decent mid-level or low to mid-level weapons. They carry armor, they carry treads. Defenders actually have lots of good parts that it's worthwhile grabbing if you can. The other problem with this floor is there are a lot of patrols, and those patrols tend to be decently equipped with a decent number of enemies. But that depends a lot on your alert level, and your alert level can be checked or purged at a terminal. Time for a little montage of me taking out everything on the floor. Risks aside, it's time to talk about the real reason that you want to come to storage. So this room right here, this is the reason that you want to come to storage if you can manage it outside of just having good parts. Here we have a whole bunch of just shiny, brand new, ready to go combat bots just sitting here, and all you have to do is walk into the room and they're your buddies. So allies aren't something that we've really touched on in Cogmind before, so let's dive into it a little bit. In Cogmind, you have really 2 types of allies. You have spotters, which you can think of spotters as like a little recon drone that you deploy from yourself, and it can be used to explore an area, a room, check around a corner, things like that. It just is for gathering intel, it's not going to do any fighting for you. The second category of ally is an autonomous bot, and those I break them down into 2 subcategories. So autonomous bots as a whole are just other robots. And of the two types there's fully autonomous, which are things like the enemy bots that are just running around all over the place, the derelicts that you occasionally run into. These robots are doing their own thing. Either in the enemy's case, they're just wandering around looking to protect the floor, and in the derelict's case, they're usually wandering around trying to find an exit. The derelicts will occasionally team up with you, and they can be pretty useful in that, and that they will go fight enemies for you, but they may not stay with you all the time. The second type of autonomous bot are the commandables. So commandable bots are those that you can issue orders to, and they will follow your orders for as long as they survive. Commandable bots are really, really helpful to find in Cogmind because they just step up your game another level. They give you the chance to avoid combat to a higher extent because they'll take on the fights for you. They can't really explore per se in that they don't share information with you, but they can be used to explore, and they will take on combat. So if you just send them out to roam, they will, and you hear gunshots, well, it's a pretty good indicator that they're fighting something. So that's intel for you. The last thing that I really wanted to cover on this particular floor is that in storage you will find locked areas. So you saw those kind of like blast doors that we had to open using terminals. And then in this room here, you'll see that there are also these like little cases. On the previous floor, we picked up that plasma cutter. This is where this becomes important. So the plasma cutter can be used to cut through doors. It does take a while, but you can use it for that purpose. And this is exactly why we wanted to grab it. So it was really lucky that we found it. Is what you do is you just kind of walk up to the door or entrance of the little case, and you go ahead and just use the plasma cutter like you would like a mining claw or a mining laser, and just keep attacking that piece of the door, and it will let you through to get either at the loot in this case, or in other levels, it may block the entrance or exits. So it's very important that you pick one of these up. They can be super helpful. And with that kind of brings it to the end of what I wanted to cover on this floor. We discussed what kind of floor storage is, how it's not, you don't level up when you enter this floor. It's kind of like the mines, you move sideways. We talked through why this is such a good floor. There's a lot of good loot. More importantly, you can find rooms full of allies. You can find both derelicts looking for your help, or you can find, in our case, we got real lucky and we found that giant room full of the other troopers. And then we talked through how allies work, what that looks like, and how they can really give you a big advantage on each floor. And then lastly, we covered the plasma cutter and why that's so important to pick one up for this and future floors. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one when we pick it back up in materials.